Welcome to Renovation Conversations, the podcast where we explore how God is rebuilding lives, restoring hope, and renewing faith. Whether you're just starting your spiritual journey or looking for inspiration to keep growing, this is the place for honest discussions, transformative stories, and practical biblical insights. Let's dive into what it means to live a life under renovation, because God's not done with us yet.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Maybe good morning. Jumping on here with another edition of our mission trip post-interview process. We've got, this is Pastor Tucker. He's the campus pastor at our Norwood campus, and doing good enough that it hasn't burned to the ground yet, so that's positive.
People are still showing up.
How long has it been going now? Like,
I don't know, 2-4 years?
Seems like that. I don't think it's
I'm pretty sure it was 3 months ago. 2.5 months ago.
No, more than that. We started in March.
Oh.
March?
Yes.
Of this year?
Late March, yeah.
He's probably closer than we are on the date. Like, he was there.
Yeah, I was there for Sunday.
he was there.
It's going good though. I like it. It's got a good feel down there.
Yeah.
I know.
Goodness, it's actually gone far, like way farther than we thought. No, I'm kidding.
I never thought it'd make it this far.
Yeah. We actually have a lot of trust in him, or he wouldn't be there.
Absolutely.
We watched his progression. Now he's questioning himself, but that's Pastor Hayden over there, for those that don't know, and I'm Pastor Dustin. I did get that messed up the other night.
Yeah.
Forgot who I was, and apparently forgot who you were. And now we threw a third person to the hat. Like, it's going to be real confusing.
I should have wore a black T-shirt. I guess I could go upstairs and change, but I didn't get the memo that it was Black Night. But
should have
blackout
dressed up.
Blackout night.
I'm pretty sure I look like a floating head.
No, not. I think I see some outline. We'll see. We'll do that in post edit.
Sure,
we'll fix it.
That'll make it all better. So we are going to talk a little bit about the missions trip, which who knows where we'll go with that. We'll see where it leads us to. But we want to kind of get your take on it, because this is your first mission trip like this for sure, out of the country.
Yeah, first time ever.
First time ever.
Oh, okay. Ever.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you had to go through the whole
everything, whole kip and caboodle.
Yeah, so this is a new adventure for you in many ways.
Yeah.
So, kind of give us just a brief understanding of how you came to this point. I guess really it boils up to what led you to join the mission trip.
And you can be honest on this podcast.
I was sitting in a Monday morning meeting, and Dustin asked me to hang on for a second, and he sat me down, and then everybody stood up around me and said, "You need to go on the mission trip." And my blood ran cold, and I said, "I don't know." I started throwing out all of these excuses on why I can't go, like money. I didn't have any. Didn't have a passport.
Yeah.
Never really. I've only flown a plane a couple times, and I was like, well, I'll just keep putting roadblocks up. Like, I went to Tara and I said, look, I get super car sick. There's no way that I can ride it to St. Louis and then get on the plane and then fly down there. She's like, oh, just get a flight out of Springfield. Well, I don't really have the money for a passport. Well, we'll take care of the passport. Oh my gosh, all these things kept. But then I went, and I was so nervous. Oh, I was so nervous. Couldn't even see straight. I was so nervous. But I went.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm glad you did. Mm-hmm. Not that you had a choice.
Yeah.
I got voluntold. He's like, either you keep a job or you go on this thing.
It wasn't quite that bad, was it? I wasn't there. I mean, it might have been.
It wasn't quite. I didn't have to get to that point. He volunteered to go after just a little bit of prompting.
Yeah.
Actually, I blame my sister, because I avoided that mission trip planning thing like the plague. And then I seen my little sister walk out of one of those meetings, and I'm like, oh, if she goes, I've got to go. There's no way I'm gonna let her go by herself. So I was like, put my name down. If she goes, I'll figure it out.
And then how did she enjoy the mission trip?
Yeah.
She didn't go.
That's
that's funny, because I think back we had Anna and Melanie sitting down with us, and I asked Anna, you probably watched it. I'm like, why'd you go? She's like, well, all my friends are going. And she goes, and then they all backed out.
But she said, obviously, she didn't regret it at all, and she wants to go back. So, so let me ask you that question: do you want to go back?
Yeah, I'll go back.
Yeah, it's a pretty good trip.
I've not gone to one outside the country. I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yeah.
So I've done mission trips in our
In
country,
here,
but so I'm excited about it. I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a germaphobe, so that part's got me.
We might get to that in one of these questions. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I got horror stories.
So
about
you
that
talking? You're talking about just like trying to get going. Once the process starts, it just kind of has to happen. But other than the just getting rolling, what was the most challenging aspect for that whole trip for you? Like now that you've been back, you're kind of on the other side of it.
Processed it a little bit.
Yeah.
like at the trip or what I was like, because there's two answers to that. It's
Well, that's
either
fine.
We'll take them both.
We'll do both.
it's either the fact that I had to leave my wife and kids
Right. Yeah.
back home for 8 days, and me and my wife's been together for I think like 3 or 4 years. I can't remember.
That's
and
okay.
we've never spent more than like 24 hours apart. Like I haven't slept in separate beds since then.
Right. Yeah.
And like all of a sudden I say, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 8
8
days. You're gonna have to hold down the fort and the 3 kids and all this stuff. You're gonna have to do it, and that part was tough.
Yeah.
That part was really
She
tough.
handled it like a champ, though.
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah,
She did.
she was there, and the kids were there when you got back.
The house was not
the
burnt
house
down.
was there.
It was
Yeah.
good to go, And but that part, and then the fact of I don't really know how to. It's like the fact of probably like being on my own, because I know I wasn't on my own. We had a group from our church go, but it was like knowing that I was really super close to.
That's true.
I was
Right,
kind of
right.
close to Benji. I was kind of close
Right.
to John. I was close to those guys, but
Yeah.
not living in a mud hut close.
Right.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And that's what. Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. That part was a little difficult.
A little
for me.
challenging.
And I was so used to, because I used to travel for my job. I would, go all over the Western United States for my job, and I could just get up and go. So I was used to traveling by myself and only relying on myself. Like
It's different when you're traveling with a big group.
and you have to rely on someone else saying,
Yes.
okay, do you have the vehicle that's going to get us? Who's going to be there to pick us up from the airport? Like,
Right.
All
A
those
bus.
stuff. Yeah, all those things. I was so used to just relying on Tucker and only Tucker, and I
Yeah.
didn't have that opportunity. I had to just say, okay, hopefully there's going to be somebody there to pick
Yeah.
us up at at
Yeah.
12 midnight when we get back. But that part was really difficult for me.
I think that to me that was probably another growth aspect of you just trusting God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you said, it is tough. Once again, it's been a couple of years since I went, but you have that feeling like you're already going somewhere you have no idea. I was with 40, 50 people. Eric was the closest one I knew leaving, and I didn't know him very well. And like he said, I got in a vehicle in Houston, Missouri with Mike, a pastor I'd never met in my life, and was on my way to St. Louis with him, which was great. Got to know him. It helped because I knew I was going to be on his team. But yeah, that when you get there thinking, okay, who's picking us up? Where are we going?
Where are we staying at?
Like you know nothing.
Do I have a shower and a bed? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, you don't know those things, and that is hard. Yeah, for a man, because anytime you go on a trip, we're in charge typically.
Yes.
I mean, my wife usually buys all the rooms and stuff on the travel,
Right.
but still, I feel like it's my responsibility to get us there safely. It's my responsibility to have the vehicles. It's
Yeah.
and you go down there and you are totally relying on them.
Yes.
And
Because
God.
you're being led.
Whenever I would travel at 20 years old, I'd take off and go to like Utah and work.
Yeah.
The back of my head, I'm like, if I've got $100, I can make it home. I can get on a Greyhound
Yeah.
and just get home.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
I remember sticking the address for the U.S. consulate
Yeah.
in,
Yep,
in
I had
Managua
that.
because I'm like, last resort, I'm going here. Like,
U.S. soil.
surely they can get me home.
Yeah.
Tattooed this on my hand. Take me here.
Yeah.
So real quick before we go any further, so you guys get there, and you were the special one that got through.
Oh yeah.
So we
I
should talk
forgot
about
this. So, mind you, Nicaragua is like borderline dictatorship.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is.
And we get there, and they give you this little piece of paper that you have to fill out on the airplane as it's landing.
Yes.
You fill this piece of paper out. Like, that's your first bit of culture shock, because guess what? English is the second language on that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So you're like, do I fill this out? Like, I don't understand. Like, because like you hear movies and stuff, like if you fill something out wrong, you're stuck in a prison and eating rice and beans.
It's called locked up abroad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like filled out this piece of paper, and I finally get it all done. I think, okay, we're good, and pretty much write out War and Peace on this little piece of paper on why I'm there. And I heard both sides, everybody say, don't say that you're a pastor. Don't say this. I was like, I can't lie. I can't. If I lie, then I'm sweating, and then they're going to think something's wrong. So as soon as we land, we get there. I have a little piece of paper. I got my bag and everything, and I walk out, and they come all these like custom agents, and they're just letting you come. And I get up there, hand mine to the lady, and she starts typing. She's like, "Habla," and I'm like, "No." And she just keeps on typing. She kind of gives me a couple of nasty, dirty looks. Asks for $10. I hand her the $10, and I walk across, and I go get my bag. Well, I stand there, and I'm waiting, and there's no one else coming. And we all have the same little cream-colored shirt on, and I can kind of see them, but I can't go to them. If I go to them, then it'd be a problem. Yeah. So I can kind of see them, and I can see Benji running around all these different checkout lanes, and I'm like, what is going on? And I go to the bathroom.
I'm the only one that made it.
I'm like breathing heavy. I got my bag, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I got a credit card, so I guess I'm going to go just buy a flight home.
Right.
Like, I didn't know what else to do, because it was like 45 minutes, and then finally they started.
Which seems like an eternity.
Oh, my goodness. It seemed like, because like Benji was right behind me. I figured that Benji was going to come right in behind me, but there was a problem with our address. Our address was wrong. They gave us the wrong address, but I guess I just got a lady that didn't want to mess with me at that time.
Right.
So she just sent me along. But
the $10 went a long ways.
Yeah, I should have gave her 20. But yeah, we made it through, and it was. Yeah, but I was ready to come right home. I was like, it's going to be the shortest mission trip ever.
Didn't make it out of the airport. Great trip.
Yeah. But it was weird as soon as you walk out of a plane, that you can kind of smell the air.
Yeah.
And you just knew instantly, like, this is not Kansas anymore.
I'm not at home anymore. You're exactly right. It does have a different feel. And like you said, when I'll be honest with you, when I went, we were told you are here visiting.
Yeah.
Do not say you're on a mission trip. We were not allowed to wear same colored shirts. Even when we left, they said, on our day of travel in Managua, we all wore the BMD and my shirts. But like when we even leaving, they're like, hey, just wear your normal clothes, act like you don't know each other. Let's just get home. And so I did. I mean, I didn't want to stay there forever. So yeah, it's a different feel down there.
But leaving the country is a lot easier because they want you out.
Yeah, they want you out there. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, I made it.
And here you are.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to, we got a kind of an outline of questions that Pastor Hayden has kind of put together. So let's talk about the rewarding side of things, the rewarding aspect, and the things you got that maybe you weren't expecting to get that were really such a blessing. And I'm sure it's like a massive portfolio.
Their culture blessed me. That makes any sense.
Yes.
The type of people that they are. Because they are so nice, and they will give their shirt off of anyone's back to anybody. Like they're such a good-hearted people. And so we had our church service. I was part of the evangelism team. I would preach all day, but we had our church services in this dude's front yard. And his wife was there, and she was cooking and cleaning and doing all this stuff all day long. And I remember because there was a bunch of trash and stuff, and the mission team, we were just wiped out. And I went over to the lady, and I was like, hey, can I pay you a little bit of money to come and clean the trash up, every day at a certain time? She said, yeah. Well, I don't know what she said. I just had an interpreter there. And after I did that, after I guess I showed that, I gave her a little bit of money, and she did that for us. And then after that, though, like the hospitality that she showed to us was immense. Like we always had coffee. Coffee down there is amazing. I'm not a coffee guy, but that coffee would just hit different. Mm-hmm. And she would bring us coffee, and she'd so nice. And she was listening to the gospel all day long because she was always outside cooking because her kitchen was outside. She cooked over a wood-burning stove, and she made these like tacos that were deep fried, and they were amazing. But like that part of it, and I'll tell you what kind of, I have a story about this thing, about my phone. I put my phone in my backpack, which I thought I put it in my backpack, but I don't think I did good enough, or it was in my back pocket or something. Somehow it fell out of my pocket. Couldn't find it. And mind you, my wife made me go out and buy a brand new phone before this trip because my phone wouldn't hold a charge. So I went out and bought a brand new iPhone for this trip, and it was gone. Couldn't find it. I'm like, well, oh well, you know. I called and got it turned off, did all the things you're supposed to do, you know, and I was like, well, it's fine. It'll be fine. I got insurance on it. I'll get a new one whenever I get home. It's no big deal. And because we searched the area and couldn't find it. And then that next day, some dude walked over to me and said, "Did you lose a phone?" He had an interpreter there, and I was like, "Yeah." And he hands it to me, and I'm like, "How did you get it?" And he said, "Well, my daughter, little girl, picked it up, took it home because they were at the clinic that day. She took it home, you know, being a little kid, you know, like ooh shiny, and they took it home." And he said, "I got home from work, seen my daughter playing with a brand new iPhone. Like, that's not yours. That's got to be the Americans." So he walked it back to me, like took a day off of work, did all this stuff, walked it back to me, and gave it to me. And I was just, in America, this thing would be gone.
Yeah,
like,
gone.
gone.
Yeah, definitely would.
And especially if you put into the amount of money that this thing is worth over there.
A house.
Like, yeah.
Well, literally. Yeah.
A car.
Yeah. It's
And
crazy.
that part of it was wild. Like, I remember I was just like floored right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it was a humbling experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's to me. It was so rewarding just to see how happy they were with what they had, which was basically just their life. I mean, dirt floor house, yet they would sweep it.
Yeah.
Cooking outside, like you said, I remember that several times. So watching them cook outside. So what was? Did you have any culture shocks other than the ones you've talked about? Anything just really floor you? He's laughing. This is going to be good.
It might be a little gross, but I'm going to
that's
say
fine. That's fine.
It's probably gross for those people because I know
That's
the story
okay.
you're going to tell.
I've told everybody, honestly, you know, be honest about it because, you know, there is some people not cut out for the mission field.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, you know,
absolutely.
yeah. I knew that was coming.
So it was right in the middle of a church service, and they're not as shy over there. Just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just a side story, but like a lot more open on where they feed their babies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you used to be preaching, and then there it is. But anyways, I think it was John preaching, and there was probably a 4-year-old little girl and probably a 3 or 2-year-old little boy. They walk maybe 2 steps outside of the tent, and helps the little boy go pee. And she helps him, and he's standing there peeing, and she starts taking her hand and swiping it through his pee stream, like playing. And I'm like, oh my goodness! Like I was like, what is going on around here? That was like first day. That was first day stuff. That's
awesome. That got you ready right there. That brought you into it.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of just culture differences. I know,
absolutely.
Feeding their babies and stuff like that for them, very natural. Yeah. I talked about on my trip, I texted my wife one night. I said, hey, I led a lady to the Lord while she was breastfeeding. I said, did the baby get part of the Holy Spirit or not? This is my question. But, it's to them, it's just normal.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's no big deal. But yeah, that's a pretty big culture shock there. I'm not sure that's a culture thing. I think that's
it makes you a better preacher, because if you can preach through that kind of stuff,
that's true. Yeah,
listen, there ain't nothing gonna stop you over here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're loud and they'll do whatever they're gonna do while you're preaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
But probably the biggest culture shock though came whenever I got home. That was the biggest.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment where I got off the plane and I'm flying. I'm going from Houston from one terminal to my terminal that's going to take me home. And I get over there, And there's these trams at Houston International Airport that takes you around.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
And this lady is helping a handicapped lady come into the tram. And for some reason, she is just so angry. And she's cursing and she's yelling. And I just remember I'm stared at her. And I'm like, lady, what are you so upset about? Like, it doesn't make any... Why are you this upset? There's nothing in this world that should make you this upset. You know, that was like one of the major culture shocks to me was that right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to see that. Because we're in our culture here, we're quick to be upset if it doesn't cater to us fast.
Yeah, very spoiled. Yes. Very, very spoiled.
But we have too much stuff.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's hit him with.
Let's talk about food. I'm asking this because this is my concern.
Yeah.
And I know you.
Yeah.
And I know your thoughts going into it. You were pretty stressed out there for a hot minute. So talk to me about how food was for you over there.
I was so hungry, I did not care. That's exactly what it was. I was so hungry, I did not care.
Yeah.
And because like you don't know the amount of energy that you're expending. Because it's work. Like there's no doubt about it. It is work.
Yeah.
Because you are like walking miles to do anything. Because it seemed like we'd go over to the evangelism tent, but we needed something. We had to go back over here to this church to get this, and then it was back over to this one, then it was back over to this one, and it's it's not easy walking by no means over there. It's tough walking because it's hilly, it's mountainous, there's no pavement. It's pretty rough, and you have to be willing to not really ask what it is.
Just eat it.
Just eat it. Eat it.
And and when you're talking what they cook for you, which they do cook for you on this trip, everything's going to taste like bleach anyways because you dip your hands in bleach on the way to the kitchen, which, that's for everybody's health. So pretty well everything tastes like bleach anyways. So there you go. I mean,
yeah.
So bleach. You're saying don't bring any clothes, just bring a backpack full of beef jerky. In small ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, but be prepared to give it away.
Everything, yes.
Yeah, I gave away all my granola bars because the guy took the scorpion out of my bed while I was preaching one day.
Hard to argue with that.
And I'm like, dude, if you'll watch my bed like that, you can have all these granola bars. So,
no kidding.
How was the sleeping conditions for you guys? Yours wasn't too bad, was it? I mean, from what I've been told.
No, we were in a concrete block house.
Yeah,
best way to put it. It was on a concrete slab. It had like blocks built up. There was no windows.
Yeah,
and we were
it was a lot like ours then. Yeah.
We were about 200 yards off of a pretty major road.
Yeah, I heard that was an issue.
And they liked their Jake brakes down there. The same guy would fire it off at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Then it'd fire the chickens off. And then there you'd be. But, like, I did not shower for the 4 days that we were on the mission field.
I only showered once. So.
Just because there's no sense in it.
Yeah.
Because by the time you get clean, you're going to get just as dirty as you were, so you're fine.
I did take dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Dude wipes were pretty good.
I had baby
wipes. I need 2 backpacks, one for beef jerky, one for dude wipes.
Yes, I did the dude wipe thing.
It is a lifesaver. It really is. Because you're right, and you guys, I know your guys was a little bit cooler. We were in the Chinandega Valley where it was. I mean, we were in the 90s at night, and so we were.
Ours wasn't that bad.
Yeah, Benji said temps were great on your guys up there, in the mountains a little more. So
make a note, talk to Eric about where we're going next year.
Yeah, before I say yes.
I already said yes. I have no choice now.
Yeah.
I can't be that guy.
You talked a little bit about communication, and so most of the people I asked was communication issue, but for you, I would really ask. How did you handle preaching with an interpreter? Because I know for me, that was a whole different
because you can't just go off on the tangent.
Yeah, that's tough on me because if you guys ever heard me preach, if I get rolling, I'm there. I have to finish that roll out.
Yeah.
But I would, it's wild. So the first night we get set up relatively quickly, and they say, hey, do you want to have a church service? None of the 4 pastors in the stable, or if you want to call us that,
Yeah.
we didn't really have nothing on deck. And I was like, well, I can do it.
Let's
I've
do
always
this.
got one kind of chooked up a little bit. So we take off, and I talked to my interpreter, which was a fantastic human being.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat and we talked for a while, and we kind of got it going. And I was really nervous about, I didn't know him, and I'm thinking to myself, this man is about to preach the gospel to all these people.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that he knows the Lord. So we had a nice long talk, and every time I'd talk about a piece of scripture, and he would just bring it up. And his Bible was double columned, but one column was in Spanish and one column was in English. So he could just see, like, okay, so he's going to be in Romans 3:23 right there. Romans 3:23 in Spanish is right here. Like, so it was really easier for him because he could do that, and he was a very, very smart man.
Yeah.
And like watching his brain work was something else. But because he's having to be a supercomputer all day because we'd only had one interpreter. And other times in the past, I've heard that every preacher had an interpreter.
All or most everybody,
Yeah, but we had one for all 4 of us, so he was preaching all day.
Wow. Yeah.
And by the end of it, I could tell his brain was pretty fried.
I bet. Yeah, that'd be tough. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Just preaching in general, not taking into account the language.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
it was
but the blessings that he's gonna receive for that obedience is
that's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yes. So we got to, like, the first night we got through it. We did it. The first day we did it, and then all 3 or 4 of us got to pick a night service, and we got to preach it. I ended up preaching 2 of them, the first night and then the second or third night. And if you guys have ever been around, ever watched me preach or anything like that, I can't stay on the stage. I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't hold me down. You know what I mean? And so I told him before this, I said, hey man, just go with the flow. Whatever happens, just go with the flow. Because I didn't really need a microphone because it was a pretty enclosed space. So I jumped off the stage, and he looked at me, and I said, just go with it, man. And he jumped off the stage with me, and I started preaching, and I was preaching to people's level, and it was a pretty powerful sermon, and we got done, and he said, I've never seen anybody do that before. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty, I didn't really know that. And then it was the very, very last service. It was my service. And I looked at him, and I said, it's your turn, man. You're going to take it over. I want you to do it. He said, really? I was like, yeah, no interpreter. You just go preach the message. And I was watching him, and he was up there behind the pulpit doing his thing. And then all of a sudden, he jumps off the stage, and he starts coming down there, and he's preaching at the people's level. And it was, I don't know, I felt like a proud dad moment right there.
Right.
Helped him find freedom in sharing the gospel.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Because they are not that they're set in their ways. With all the ones I was around, it was very stood right at the pulpit. Because we had 1 or 2 nights where locals did preach.
Well, you do what Todd had seen.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so if they've never seen people, just go relate.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how important that is.
Exactly.
I mean, for sure.
Exactly.
And not that the ones that taught them how to do that didn't show them that it was important, but they probably didn't show them.
Oh,
that.
right.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but
for
that
sure.
was part for now.
Yeah.
So kind of going to, I guess kind of to put a bow on this thing, how did your faith change because of this trip? What has it done to you in your walk?
It's made me more, I guess, in the present and not really thinking about the what ifs. We need this to have the gospel. We need this to have the gospel. We need this, we need that. We don't need any of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need the donuts. We don't need all this stuff. And to me, the donuts and the coffee, then the music a certain way, and all that kind of stuff. All that's extra.
Yeah.
But we don't need that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what's kind of hit me. It was like, we just need Jesus.
Yeah.
We just need the gospel, and then just let it all rest of it fall where it falls. Kind of let go of the reins a little bit on certain things. But there was a moment. It was our travel day or whatever, and there was a young man there who was in 8th grade that came with his guardian, grandma. I don't really know what all that was, but he came with her, and he wanted to get baptized when we were down there. And we were going to baptize him in the creek behind the.
That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, behind in the village there, but. No.
Yeah, no.
I'm not getting that creek.
No.
And because also the creek was the sewer for the town.
I was going to say, that, yeah.
So I was like, well, we're not going to do that. And then somebody said, hey, let's go to the Pacific Ocean. There's this good place that we can all do it. I was like, okay, that'd be cool. Everybody kept asking him who's going to have do it. And he finally came to me and he said, who should I have do it? And I said, man, it needs to be somebody. It's a great honor. And I said, you need to really think about it, who you're going to ask, somebody that you know or whatever, one of those things. And he ended up asking me to do it. And it was probably one of those special experiences of my life because,
awesome.
We got to get into the water. I dunked him, and then there was a liaison between the mission trip and then the people of Nicaragua, and his name was Abel. And Abel got to baptize someone that was on the interpreter team.
That's cool.
Right after me.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So because he looked at me and said, the interpreter said, do you want to baptize me? And I looked at Abel and I said, no, this needs to be in his own language.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to get baptized in English, or he has to think about it and turn it around. So I baptized the American, and then Abel baptized the Nicaraguan, and it was like I was bawling. Good thing the ocean was hitting me.
Salt water.
Salt water.
I was like, this is one of the most beautiful moments of my life.
Yeah.
How amazing.
Yeah.
And the guitarist got there, and we were singing Amazing Grace, and then we sang something in Spanish. I have no idea, but it was really pretty. And it was just one of those, like, I don't know. It was like a perfect ending to the trip.
That's cool.
I should put it that way.
Yeah.
That's I love hearing about all that because this is why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
None of us as pastors began to pastor because we knew it was going to be fun.
Yeah.
We didn't begin to pastor because there was going to be some great paycheck in it, and we didn't begin to pastor so we could have this great leadership role in our community. Matter of fact, all of those are not what people might think they are.
Yeah. For sure.
Many times you're the most despised because you have to stick to the word of God and not to the word of culture.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think that's where that's some stuff you've probably learned. I've watched a change in you. And part of the reason why we wanted you to go for sure on this mission trip because you are leading a church now. You're a campus pastor in Norwood. And we had thought and talked and prayed about it, about how that might impact you as in your leadership role. And I think we've seen it. Yeah. I mean, it's more than just I'm starting to see more white here, FYI.
Yeah, that happens. It's weird. It's a Nicaragua thing.
So
I got a little white too.
Congratulations. So. Yeah, he got a little white there
just
too.
Just a little.
Just a
Sean Connery, type of
Oh,
white.
goodness. You need to have a little accent. But I think that there's a maturity level that comes from it.
Yeah.
And I think this was because we could have taught you a lot of stuff, and we have, and I think we've walked together and we've all learned together. I love it. I love this because I learned from you as much as you'll ever learn from me as we walk through this together. But Hayden and I had talked, and with our wives as well, about how the impact of you going to a place where you have nothing but God
for just a little bit.
For just a little bit.
Yeah.
Would impact kingdom work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
because the thing, and another thing you said it, and it's so beautiful, is how simple the gospel should be.
Yes.
And I've talked about that multiple times since I went, because the gospel just lands there.
Yes.
And here everybody's like, "We got to prove it to me."
Yeah.
And I get, and not that I get sick of that, but that's why we got to know this really well, is for people like that. But it's such a beautiful thing to see the gospel just work, and that's what you see down there. It's just amazing.
Which I think translates to the way that we, from the beginning of Renovation Church, we've said this will be our priority.
Yeah.
And every sermon we preach, whether me, you, or Ken, and we're going to go scripture heavy. Mm-hmm. And by practicing that daily, you're able to go to a place like Nicaragua, and it pours out because you've already absorbed so much.
Yeah.
And I'm super proud of you about your growth in that. And I'm proud of you for going, because I know that was not. I seen your face when we told you were going. If you could have seen his face, guys, you would have been like, he ain't going.
We should have been recording.
Oh, we should have been,
a
because
good
your
intro
face was
to
like,
this.
you can't make me do this.
I was thinking every excuse to get out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
kind of like that
Every
story we
single
covered
excuse.
last night of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
He laughed at you. I'm not going.
Yeah.
But I love your heart in it. I love your
Yep.
faithfulness. I
I'm
know
glad
that
you
it
went.
will continue to grow your marriage, your walk with Jesus, your role as a dad, and then your role as pastor.
Yeah.
Because those are all very different roles.
Yeah.
And I don't think people sometimes realize that.
I don't think my kids like me going very much.
I'm sure it's tough. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying just because I was gone for 8
Oh.
days. It's because like
You don't
you,
need that.
You don't need that. You are fine. I promise you. You have everything that you need
Yeah.
right in your toolbox.
Just remind them
Yes.
when you do those things how big of a blessing it is.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it matters.
Yeah.
And someday maybe you'll get to take them.
Yeah, because I was watching 2 little boys play with a rusty wheel, and I'm like, my kids complain when their Nintendo's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somebody charge this iPad? Come
Yeah.
on.
It's like,
Right?
Yeah. Or,
Ugh.
yeah, it does change. It does change a lot of things.
But I think that's where, we got to keep pressing to that next generation and bring them to places like that.
Yeah, for sure. Let them see
know.
it. Let them understand.
But I believe, and I firmly believe this, that people from there would come up here and be like, why do you need all this?
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, we just had a young lady come to our church, and I won't share her name because I don't know if she'll listen or not. I don't want to call her out, but she came and shared a message to the youth group,
Yeah.
and she left there with zero money.
Yeah. Got on a plane. to
On a
come
plane
to
with
the
zero
States.
money, just
Yeah.
trusting the Lord to take care of her on her trip to America, where she had never been before in her life.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
And I'm like, I won't go to one town over without making sure I got some form of
Yeah.
gas monies, whatever. And I'm like, she just
Yeah,
got on a
just-
plane, flew
and
to another
came here.
country, and said, I'm just going to trust God in it.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And he took care of her.
And he took care of
As
her.
far as
But
we know, she made it back.
I haven't heard yet, but I haven't heard I haven't heard the other side either.
I did see a Facebook post. She was back home.
Well,
so,
that's good.
Yeah, she made it home.
But that just goes to show you our culture makes a difference. And, it doesn't mean that we have to be like, oh, my goodness, we're horrible people because
Right.
we have so much.
But we should definitely be happy with what we have.
Yes, be thankful for it and
yeah.
walk in a blessing.
And we should realize we don't need everything.
Yeah.
That was one of my big things, my testimony. I thought I needed it all. And once you realize you don't, it sure makes things a lot better.
That's probably one of my
does, it
downfalls of
does.
parenting is I thought my kids needed everything I never had.
Yeah.
yeah, they don't.
No.
Nah.
No, for sure. But no, it's good, man. I'm glad you went. I'm glad
I
you
am
went.
too.
Glad we got to finally sit down and talk about it.
I was supposed to talk about it my last sermon that I preached at Mansfield, but
Yeah.
Well,
that didn't happen. That's
way to,
okay.
Way to go.
See, we talked about it tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
close
Only a couple days after. No, we can have. No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, as always, I appreciate and love your heart for ministry. Hayden, I love your heart for ministry. I couldn't ask for better people to walk in ministry with. And I'm not saying that because, it's renovation pastors, they're amazing. That's not where I'm at. It's renovation pastors, and they know that they are not amazing.
All right.
We know that we are absolutely nothing without God.
Yeah.
And Ken could be here and he'd be in full agreement that we understand without the Word of God, we are worthless.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I got nothing good to tell you without the Word of God.
I don't have a whole lot of good advice on my own. So.
No. So I'm thankful and grateful for you guys, and grateful you got to go on that mission trip. Got the little more white going on. I'm seeing it from this angle now. I'm seeing it.
It looks
it's looking
good,
a lot like that guy
I don't
over
think
there.
it's just the lighting. I think he went white.
Yeah.
So.
He's significantly younger than we are, but it's happening. So anyway, we love you guys. We encourage you to, before you do anything, get plugged into a local church.
Yep.
Make yourself available to serve in the church. If you're around Norwood,
Yeah.
Pastor Tucker has a church there in Norwood that he is leading, and it's growing. It's starting to see some great fruits.
Yeah.
And I think that is exactly what the heart of those that gave it to us had in mind. So I
Yeah.
think that that's such a blessing. And, we're in Mansfield. Pastor Hayden and I, although Hayden flips around a little bit.
I'm
So
at both.
you'll see him at both. And Pastor Ken is everywhere.
Yep. All over.
So doing ministry with the men's houses and the ladies' houses that he's in charge of. So find yourself plugged into a church. If you need to find one, reach out to Renovation Church. If you can't come to ours or you don't feel like that's for you, we will help you find a Bible preaching church in your area. We'll help you get there.
Yep.
Because that's important to us, not just to have you in ours, but to have you in a Bible preaching church.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we would definitely put that effort in there, and thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have a chance, go on mission. It'll change your life. It really will. It'll change your whole perspective.
Your life.
Yep.
Beef jerky,
Beef.
dude wipes. All right.
All right.
Well, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we are encouraged by you all. Come church with us, worship with us, and most importantly, follow Jesus with your heart.
Yep.
Love you all.
See you guys.
Bye.
God is always at work in you, restoring, renewing, and rebuilding. Thanks for listening to Renovation Conversations. Like and share, and we'll see you next time.